Hello, everyone. Good morning, wherever you are, and good evening, good afternoon, wherever is applicable. Thank you for making today a date with me. We just kind of wait a couple of more minutes. Thank you, Ola. Please, as you're joining, you could just type your say hello, say hi, tell us where you are joining from. Thank you, Josh from Edmonton. Tokumbo, thank you. Good morning. Ola is here. Please, you can tell us where you are. Let's see how. Let's know where you are joining us from. That would be appreciated. Thank you. And how has it been where you are there? Please let me know if you are hearing me. If there's anything, just let me know. I hope you are hearing me clearly. Yeah, Anyton, thank you from Edmonton. I have a lot of folks from Edmonton. Yeah, I could see somebody from Ottawa. Oh, Kakanfo Kunle. Kakanfo, is it the same Kakanfo Methodist Secondary School? Wow, good, my friend. Nice having you here. Yeah, somebody joining from United Kingdom. Joy, thank you. Yeah, let's do this for the next. Let's get a lot of other people in before we start. Thank you, Victor from Edmonton. Yeah, Kunle Kakamfo. Thank you, Kunle. Hello, Dr. Kunle. Wow, thank you, everyone. Yeah, from Phoenix. Oh, that's Chris for Phoenix. Chris, how are you? Thank you for joining. Oh, Lady Dio from United Kingdom. Thank you. Folks from Nigeria. Thank you. Yemi from Nigeria. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, we do one more minute, then we start. And please do me a favor. Can you share this on your social media handles? Invite your friend, invite your relatives, ask them to join. This is going to be very insightful today. It's going to be very interesting. We're going to go with a lot of information that we can leverage to move forward in 2024. Please share as much as you could do that. Please do that for us. Thank you. And those of you that, if you are already on our existing social media platform, please, you can just share and say, oh, we've started here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And I want to thank Josh. Josh is behind the stage doing a lot of technical things. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I think I'm going to start in 1 minute. So let's wait for more people joining us. Yeah, we have a lot of folks joining us from Edmonton. I have a lot of home-based support on this this event today. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. So, Josh, if you want to go on LinkedIn and kind of add notes there that we are live. If you want to go on Facebook as well and all our social media platforms, please go ahead. Thank you. Yeah, 1 more minute, then we'll start. Let's see if we can get more people in. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, again, let me formally welcome all of you. You are welcome to this. It's a flagship event. Actually, this is the first official event of this global network, and I really appreciate you making time out to be here today. We have so many to talk about, so many things, and I'm gonna I'm trusting God for speed and grace to finish, and I think we should be okay. So, without much ado, I will just talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. Of course, we do the introduction, then we go to second topic. We're going to, I mean, the main first topic, which is goals and systems. Then move on to impact of global trends. Then we talk about strategy for career pivoting. Number 5, because of time when I start preparing, I noticed that I won't be able to do justice to this on this call. So what I will be doing is to do a separate video, and I will send to every one of you to listen to. Then we have a question and answer. Then we see AOB. So what I will do now is just quickly tell you about this platform. This is a Christian faith-based network, and the goal actually is to raise arrowheads for God, to raise giants, to raise kings and priests for God, that will leverage the power of Holy Spirit and the understanding of God's given dominion mandate, as it is written in Genesis 1:28, to impact their world, to impact their generation positively for God. So that's the main purpose of this. So I believe strongly that this network is critical in God's end time agenda. This network is created to be part of the platform to raise arrowheads for God's end time agenda. So I am so passionate about seeing children of God, Christian, fulfilling destiny, both in the spiritual realm and also in the physical. And that's one of the reasons for this. Please, everybody is welcome, irrespective of your faith, because we're going to be touching on things that affect all of us in the marketplace. But we're going to be leveraging on knowledge from the scriptures and also from the information around us. Yeah, a little bit about me. I am married to my undergraduate friend, Fumi. We are blessed with 3 children, Blaze, Emmanuel, and Shalom. I'm a passionate teacher. Maybe I should say this in a report tense. Yeah. Olubenga is a passionate teacher, always seeks to encourage believers to leverage not only God's supernatural interventions, but practically God's proven and ever potent principles to fulfill their dominion mandate on this side of eternity. He's so passionate about helping and seeing people not only growing spiritually, but being exceedingly successful in the marketplace. At Stantec, where I work, Stantec is one of the world top 10 design engineering firms. Olubenga is a civil conveyance engineering discipline lead and one of the global subject matter experts in infrastructure practices and asset management within the company, where he leads multi-sector projects across North America and Europe. He's a registered professional engineer in 5 provinces across Canada. Olubenga obtained his BSc Hons from Obafemi Awolowo University in Nigeria, after which he moved to the UK for his MSc in environmental engineering and project management and PhD in civil engineering from the University of Leeds and Area Washington, respectively. Seeing a need for business-centric engineering deliverables, he recently completed his MBA with a focus on strategy and consulting at Abata Business School of the University of Abata. That's about me. Now, as we go on into this, I quickly want to prep you. Today, I'm going to be doing a lot of information sharing, and I want to kind of whet your appetite with this. Many of you will know about this woman, Ellen Keller. She lost both her sight and hearing when she was 19 months old. She later became the first deafblind person in the United States to earn a bachelor's degree in arts from Harvard University. She has a lot of favorite quotes, but some of them is she said, "The most pathetic person in the world is someone who has sight but has no vision. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision." And she said that knowledge is love and light and vision. So if you mix all these things together, she's trying to say is that the only thing worse than being blind is having sight and no knowledge. So the Bible said knowledge preserves. So because consequence of ignorance or lack of knowledge is destruction, as the Bible says in Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. And in Proverbs 7:12, the Bible says the advantage of knowledge is this: wisdom preserves those who have it. So how much better to get wisdom than gold? To get insight rather than silver. And that's what I'm going to be doing. There's going to be a lot of information sharing. Please take it home, think about it, and decide, create the future you want with the information I'm going to be sharing today. It's going to be a lot of information, insight, and knowledge. Now, without much ado, I'm going to start by talking about goals and system. Now, before I go so deep into goals and system, I quickly want to say as well that my aim at the end of today is for you to actually change your mindset. I want to encourage you to be willing to change your mindset, and with this image I'm showing on the screen, I want to actually show you how significant a slight change in your life can bring you to a completely different destination. If you are flying from Los Angeles in the US to New York, it's about 5 hours flight. If you turn the nose of the airplane by 3.5 degrees, which is just a little bit of a couple of feet, which you will not even notice, you will land in Washington. Similarly, even a slight change in your approach has the potential to guide your life or career to a very different destination. So it's all about change. I think it was Jim Rohn that said, your next 5 years will be like your last 5 years, probably even worse, unless you change it all. This is because unless you change what you are or what you do, you will always get what you've got. So my goal today is that you will take some things home and change what you've been doing, because the only way things change for you is when you change. So please join me with open mind as I take you through it. Now let's look at conventional wisdom. By this time of the year, you will see a lot of New Year resolution. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to take on this course. I'm going to be more kind. I'm going to do this and that. And I have this information on the screen for you. Only 9% of Americans who make resolutions, New Year resolution, complete them. Only 9%. And 23% of people quit their resolution at the end of the first week. And 43 quit by the end of January. So what happens is the problem about goal setting. You know, a lot of things about, make your goal smart and blah, blah, blah. Yes. And the question is, why do we have 43% of people who must have made New Year resolution quit before the end of the month, January? So it is clear the achievement of goals has little to do with setting goals, but everything to do with the system followed. And that's what I'm going to be talking about. It's good to set goals. I'm not saying that you cannot. That's conventional, but we have seen, and many of you will bear me witness, that sometimes you head where you don't want. So why? How can you achieve your goals? Whatever goals you have for your career, for your health, for your business, for your family, for your life, I want to talk about how to leverage system to achieve your goals with personal experience. Of course, goals, we know what goals are, the end towards which effort is directed, what you want to achieve, desired result, and all the likes. And system, on the other hand, system is talking about supporting structure. It's talking about processes, frameworks, and machinery you put in place to achieve those results. It's all about structure. It's all about what you put, the environment you create. For example, if you set a goal to be a successful and profitable business, now your system will include how to develop and test your product ideas, recruit and retain employees, run market campaigns, identify differentiation strategies, and so on. Let's assume you are a football coach or a sport team coach. That's your goal. You want to win a competition. Now, what will be your system? Your system will be like how to recruit athletes, manage the coaching staff, conduct and manage training sessions. That will be that, and so on and so forth. So that's a sample of system. But let's go on and see. What are the problems with focusing only on the goals? And what I'm trying to say is that people fail because they focus on the goals. Why? Because number one, if you look at the image on the screen, everybody lined up in Rio 2016 for this race. Every one of them had the same goal, and the goal was to win a gold medal. Every one of them. So winners and losers have the same goals. So in that case, what happened? Because only one person will win the gold. So what happened? Are we going to say that tells us that it is not the goal? It wasn't the goal. For example, 2076, the person that won the gold did not win because the person set up to win the goal by setting a goal, because everybody did. The reason must have been the system of training the player, the athlete must have set to win the goal. So this is one of the problems with it. Second problem with focusing on the goals is that goals bring momentary, a kind of a flash in the pan success. It is just one of things. You win, okay, what next? And also, happiness is restricted to when the goal is achieved. When you achieve a goal, you're happy. But what happened going forward? No. But this is what system aims to correct. Also, goals may be in conflict with long-term or sustainable progress. If you want to have a long-term or sustainable progress success, system is what you need to focus on. Now, looking at this, I want you to let you just sink in. If you want to win a game, set a goal. But if you want to play the game continuously, you need to build a system. And that's what I'm trying to advocate today. Yeah, one of things you win. And that's why some people attain the success and then they go into oblivion. Nobody knows anything about them because it's a flash in the pan. They have not created system. They are not built to sustain it. So if you don't take anything from this, remember that if you just want to win once, goals are good. But if you want to continuously win, then you need to leverage system. So sustainable growth is not about any single accomplishment. It's about the cycle of endless refinement and continuous improvement. So it is your commitment to progress that determines your progress. So, and that's what system does. System creates an environment where you can be committed to continuous progress. And that's one of the key things. Now, before I go, I'm going to be talking on a lot of things, a lot of information, and I'm going to be talking on how the strategies by which you can pivot to a different career. But one thing I've learned from my personal experience, from stories I've read, from books, from things, is that most times we start with a lot of energy, but along the line we lose traction. Along the line we lose motivation. So I quickly want to talk about, because one of the things you are going to be taken out of this, you are going to be having to do a lot of things. But I can tell you for fact, you are going to get to a point where you are going to lose motivation. But what can you do to make sure that you maintain, you stay motivated, you stay focused on whatever you say? It's a route called good luck. And what he's saying, I'm going to say that I love to play chess. Maybe not a professional chess player, but that little guy, medium. Imagine me playing with a 5-year-old chess player. Because if I play such person 100 times, I'm probably going to win the person. What happened? I get bored easily. And imagine me playing, or if I decide to play with Magnus, who is the world best chess player, the failure is inevitable because it's giving me blue black every time. Failure. So one of the ways for me to enjoy playing chess is to find the happy middle. Is to find to be somebody that I win some and I will lose some, so that I can stay motivated. That is what we call Goldilocks zone. When you set goal, when you set system, when you set yourself to achieve anything, always try to find the Goldilocks zone. That's zone in the middle between boredom and failure. So, and this, please put this on your, or don't forget this. When you set yourself to achieve anything, look for that Goldilocks zone rule. You are doing a career, you're preparing for a career shift, whatever it is, find the Goldilocks rule. That is where you can stay motivated. And what it's just saying is that human experience peak motivation when working, human experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are right on the edge of their current abilities. The task that is not too hard, the task that's not too easy, the task that is just right. And I will make reference to this as I go along. James Clear said in his book that one of the two ways to stay motivated is to learn to identify the midpoint between the boredom and failure and stay right there. Stick to the Goldilocks rule, and also measure your progress and receive immediate feedback when possible. So when you do a bite size of feedback, you have done something, get feedback, get motivated, stay on and on. So this slide is very, very important, and how to stay motivated, as we see. Now, I'm going to go to the next one. So before I go to that, I would like to share a personal experience with you. Let me see. Okay, yeah, good. About creating system and also goals. Now, many of us, we wake up early in the morning with alarms, and you see some reactions. Sometimes when your alarm goes off, you feel like taking hammer and smash it. And that is a goal. I want to wake up 5 a.m. You set alarm. That is a goal. So difficult to wake up, but you can change it and set a system like going to bed early, making sure you don't eat heavy food at night. You know, that is it. That system you create to wake up, rather than just watching movie till like 12 midnight, or stay on your phone 30 minutes before you go to bed, and then set a goal to say, I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock. You're going to find it difficult. So what do? You set a system that changed that. And I did something like that some years back, but I will talk about that later. Now, let's go to the next one because of our time. Global impact of key global trends on career and business goals, choices. Now, at the end of the day, when I get to the last topic, I'm going to fuse all these things together. Just bear with me and take as much as we can see. They will see the way we're going to use what we've been talking about. Now, currently, if you've been following news, you've been seeing things, you will see a lot of global trends going on around the world. These are global big impact things. And when I researched, I came up with 6. There are so many of them. And the issue is that most of us, we just look at, how does this affect me? What is my business with China being the second, India going to be the third global economy, largest economy in the world? Or how does diversity and equality and inclusion, how do they affect me? Climate change and all the likes. I tell you, they affect you greatly. So identify 6 global trends: AI and rapid advances in technology, digitalization and disruption. And the second one is shift in global economic and political power, diversity, equity and inclusion, climate change and sustainability, social, cultural and workplace shift, and also rapid urbanization and shifting. So you can look more. I'm going to be focusing on 1 and 2 because of our time, right? And I'm going to be sharing a lot of data. Now, I am an engineer. I have technical background. So what I'm sharing with you is what I expect you to go and do for your career, for whatever decision you want to make about your career. In 2024, if you are setting up, maybe you want to pivot, you want to grow in your company, you want to start a business. The things that I'm sharing today, these are the things you can leverage to guarantee success. What I've done is I am assuming as an engineer that I want to set up a business in tech and engineering firm. So, and I just went to OpenAI and I did SWOT analysis on the impact of AI and rapid advances in technology on technology and engineering firm. And you could see, this is free anyway, you could see what the strength, opportunity, threat, and weakness. For example, what are the opportunities I have? Meaning, if I'm setting up that kind of business, utilizing AI and rapid technology advances can revolutionize my product development and engineering process. What are my threats? Overemphasizing technology might overshadow the importance of human creativity, because now you don't let people be people. Now, and look at the weakness, look at my strength, and develop my strategy around this. This might not be applicable to you, but I'm just using it as an example. Now, let me leave that. Let's look at global trend that can affect you, how AI and rapid advances in technology will affect you. Number one, if you look at this chart, this is telling us that some activities have higher technical automation potential. That if you work in a role that has to do with data collection, data analysis, process data, or anything that is predictable physically, the chance, see, almost 81% chance of your role being automated. Do you know what that means? That means 51% of US wages will go into extinction. And that would be 2.7 million savings in wages. And let me quickly say something here. Everybody listening to me. We live in a profit-driven economy. Get that. Don't let any company lie to you. We put people's first. That's right. It's all about number. It's all about profitability. All the business owners around the world, they are looking of the way to increase the profit of their shareholders. So what do? They are going to be leveraging this. So what this thing will be telling you like that, if I'm a manager, managing and developing people, applying expertise to decision making, the chance, if you see the first manager and expert, the chance of your role being automated is low. The percentage is low. What does that tell me? I need to think when I'm choosing career or when I want to develop my career. And there's something I love about this chart you're seeing here. By the way, I need to give credit to my professor, Professor Barry. He's a 30-year professor of economics in business school. Some of the chart I'm using, some of the data I'm using, I got from his lesson notes. In fact, he gave me the insight that brought about this presentation. Now, if you look at this, there was a study done recently where they were trying to leverage the activities of low-skill workers with AI, and also the highly skilled worker with AI. If you see the chart, it shows that people with low-skill worker, you can get the best of them. That is about 4.3% boost by letting them use AI. But for highly skilled, it's not that high. So what is that telling you? That organization will be finding a way to leverage that and say, instead of paying these high earners, can I invest in technology so that I can get more return from my low earners? It's all about profitability. Don't forget. I want you to start thinking, how will this affect my job in 5 years, in 3 years, in 4 years, and so on? Let me quickly go to global shift in economic and political power. This is very, very important. Please pay attention. Now, currently, US is the largest economy in the world. But just in 6 years, China is going to take over. And that is not really scary to me because of data. What is scaring me, or what is giving me concern, is India. In the same time frame, India is going to be the third global economy in the world, largest global economy in the world, ahead of Germany, ahead of Japan, and other strong Western world. What does that mean? And if you look at today, and if you look at today, and if you see the US and economy, the chart in the middle, you could see the China taking over. Currently, other Western worlds are becoming consuming nations because we are not producing. because every production requirement goes to China. Everything is made in China. And the China is investing a lot in production, in information technology, in technology advancement, so much that everybody goes there. Everybody goes there for to get anything done. Why is that? Because the labor is cheaper. Don't forget, it's all about profitability. And I'm not talking about Canada, because we always play cash up. So what is the impact of this? India population is ever growing. Meanwhile, China population is declining. In fact, that's one of their major problems. By 2050, there is high chance of India becoming the world largest economy. And many of us have, I'm not tribalistic, I'm just talking about data. When it comes to IT, when it comes to data and all these things, Indians or people from Asia, they are at the forefront of this. Now, bigger corporations, they site their companies in India because of cheap labor. And these guys are very, very good with what you are doing here. They can do it better and do it cheaper. And now, by them becoming global economy, now they are not, everything is going to them. Imagine them becoming it, meaning all our livelihood, those of us that stay in Western world, in the other parts of the world, our means of livelihood might be eroded. So this is not all gloom and doom, but this is to let you think and say, how can I plan my career? How can I plan my future leveraging this information? Now you can see Japan in population is declining because population drives GDP. So you can see GDP growth. We could see everything. India is right here, is growing. And if you see the US, China is declining because their population is declining. But if you see where we are, US, you see Canada, we are right here. US is also lower. Now that is telling you something. So what are the significance of this? I will see as we go on. Now, I'm not going to spend more time here because I want to speak for 30 minutes and for 1 hour. Then we can do question and answer for 30 minutes. But this is another key thing: diversity, equality, equity, and inclusion. Somebody will ask, there was a survey by PwC asking this question: is diversity a stated value or priority area for your organization? 54% of business leaders answered in affirmative. They said yes. What is the implication of this to you? There are opportunities here. If I'm a member of a feasible minority, I can leverage this when I'm communicating when I'm doing my resume, or when I'm applying for a job. I can leverage on that because this is very important to business leader. And it's not important because they want to be politically correct. It is important because it drives profitability. I tell you, it's all about profitability. If you see the chart on the bottom right, 36% companies that leverage diversity, DE&I, that is their profitability improved by 36%. So these companies that are shouting diversity and inclusion, they are not doing that just because they like you, so to say. They are being driven by profits, but that's okay. You can leverage on that. Again, maybe another way to use this is that maybe I'm into HR, human resources, and I've been doing a lot of recruiting and hiring. This is an opportunity to start training in this area and develop your skill. Maybe nobody is doing that in your HR team, and say, come on, I'm going to take some training on DE&I and develop in that aspect, so that you can come to your company and say, you know, that this is a strategy to position yourself. Because what I notice is that anytime you are speaking a language that is in alignment with the strategic position of your company, your chance of success and promotion is very, very high. This is the whole essence of this: seeking for information to make your decision. About 5 years ago, I got to know about asset management, asset and infrastructure management. I am just a pipeline design engineer, doing like asset management. I got to know about this. I started researching into asset management, and I began to realize how niche that market is. I brought it to my business leaders. I remember when I was talking to my supervisor on this, he said something. He said, what you are saying makes sense, but I don't understand it. But anyway, I will support you. They paid for all the training certification I needed to do. I started developing myself in asset management. Even though my business area is in water, we don't do much of asset management. I started developing, did all certification training across the globe, and within 3 years, when you mention asset management professional in my company in North America, by the time you are counting 15 people to 20 people, you are going to mention my name as one of the subject matter experts. And this has given me a lot of leverages and advantages in the company. I have traveled while I'm far doing asset management projects. I've spoken at conferences, written paper. In fact, in 2020, I won a global award in asset management. In 2021, I won another national award in asset management because I got the information, I developed myself ahead. And that's what we call first mover advantage. And that's one essence of this. See that, look at all these global trends, how they affect your career. It's not just waking up in one day and say, I want to do asset management, I want to do project management. That's fine. You need to have information. I want to do business analyst. Fine. And that's what I'm going to be doing next. See how you can leverage all this. And it's actually giving me a lot of success, a lot of relevance. Promotion that will take me 15 years to attain, in 5-6 years, I got the promotion. I got significant pay rise because 5 years ago, when everybody was sleeping, I got this revelation and I ran with it. So that is it. That's what I'm trying to say here. Now we can talk about climate change. We can talk about sustainability. Please, I just want you to look into this. And I'll quickly talk about this. Social, cultural, and workplace shifts. Now, if you look at it now, the number of work that freelancers are doing is increasing globally. That should get somebody thinking. You look at your work, what kind of work am I doing? Is it the kind of work that freelancer can do? And you can leverage that and say, oh, okay, I'm going to train myself and set myself as a freelancer so that you work for multiple employers. Or you can say, I'm going to look for a permanent role in this area that freelancer can do, probably work for government. And it's all about strategy. This is not, there's no yes, right or wrong answer. And say, okay, because a lot of freelancers can do this work, I'm going to take a permanent role in an economy or industry that is stable, so that we don't fire easily, and sit down there and build your career, promote yourself. That is what this information is all about. And that's what I want to get you to start thinking about. Now, urbanization, we see all this generation and all this like Gen Z. For example, if you are Gen Z, the research has shown that your level of stress is higher than all other generation at work. And business owner, they have this data. So if I were to be a Gen Z person, I'm going to look at myself. Everybody thinks we can't stay focused, we get stressed out, burn out quickly. Okay, I'm going to develop myself on how to manage stress so that my employer will see something different about me. And when all your mates are falling by the wayside, you are rising. That is what this kind of data should be telling you. Now, I'm going to run because of data, because of our time. And also the key thing here is that we could see data showing that most, especially those of you that in a baby boomer category or Gen Z, some of the people taking up workplace now are people within up to age 25. You need to be relating with these people. What do they have that is making them to take all the job and start developing yourself there, so that one day you are not just out of job. So these are the way to use this data. Or if I'm an employer, I know I start leveraging, I set my business to attract this young generation and leverage on their strength and energy. That is what I'm expecting you to take out of this kind of information. Yeah, thank you. And let's look at now impact of China on American job and your job, of course, Canada, wherever you are. If you see the chart on the left, again, you could see China slowly from 1980s coming up in terms of trade, overtaking US and EU. What is the implication of that? Look at the chart on the data, the second on my right. When it comes to manufacturing, superpower, China has taken over US. See the gap between 2000 in the last 20 years. You know why this is really more critical to me? Because of India. India population is growing. China population is declining. India is techie savvy. These guys are, I have them as colleagues. I work with them. No disrespect to them. Very smart. If you have China and India in the midst, and you sit in Europe, you sit in America, you see wherever other place of the Africa, wherever you are, and you are just doing those mundane things, you are not thinking about your job in the next 5 years. I'm sorry, you probably going to have yourself to be blamed. Now, let's look at this data. It's very, very important. Now, the dotted line is the global average wage across the globe. See the China global average wage in 2020 is just below the global average. Look at US. 2020 is, you see where it is? See the percentage? Just it's not sustainable. Look at India. India is just way below, about 50% of the global average. They have the population, they have the technology know-how. Every job is going there. In fact, it's cheaper to hire somebody from India. If my job is something that anybody from India can do, or anybody can, then you are in trouble. But you are in trouble if you are not thinking. You might want to say, okay, this is the trend. I have about 6 years. I'm going to stay in this setup for 6 years, leverage all I can leverage, because that your job is going to go away. That's it. This is wisdom. This is understanding. This is not prayer. This is not prayer. You can't pray. You can't pray it out. You can't pray that this will not happen. No, it cannot. It's just to have understanding of time and purpose. There are some people in the Bible, men of Issachar. The Bible said they have understanding of time and purpose to know what Israel ought to do per time. The funny thing about men of Issachar, they are few in number, but the Bible said their brethren are at their beck and call because they have understanding of time and purpose. And that's what I'm saying here. When you have understanding of time, you can position yourself and leverage what they call first mover advantage. Are you with me? So you could see that, you see UK, it's just not sustainable. It's going up. Now, impact of China job, impact of China on job again. If you see in 1850, up to now, you see agriculture was very wide. Up to now, you see agriculture we are losing agriculture. But what you can say about this data is that I can look at this and say there's some sector of industry that is growing larger. Maybe I want to pivot and look at it like trade, retail, and wholesale, or they tend to be growing bigger. Why? You dig into that. Is it something I can leverage there? Can I develop myself to be able to leverage that? And if you find yourself in agriculture, you now have to be thinking that, man, my job is going to be good because automation, cheap labor, I might probably need to go out of here. This is what this is telling us. This is what this is, the kind of information you want to be looking at. Some areas we are losing, they are turning out, and some they are growing. Think about what you are doing now and see what is going to happen in future. Now, this is very, very critical. Low and mid-skill realities. Now, this data shows the real hour wage by education. And you could see high school before COVID. High school holders tend to earn lower, which is obvious. But after COVID, we could see them staying in the middle. And the people with degrees, and those are the people in blue, their earning potential is declining. This is real data. And people with some college degree that meet scheme, the green, we could see them, their earning potential is going up. The reason for the low end, high end after COVID is obvious. During COVID, all offices shut down, everything. You needed the low skill worker to work. Now, if you look at the one on the right, that is real hourly wage by occupation. Please pay attention to that. Low wage occupation is going up now. Why? Because organizations are now leveraging AI. I was showing you a chart the other time when they try to leverage AI for low skill worker, and they notice some improvement. So why do I have to hire that big guy with big fat paycheck when I can bring in low end earners, invest in technology, and scale and make more profits for myself? Don't forget, I told you it's all about profitability. Now, high wage group, they are declining. As at 2022, they are declining. That is a fact. That is a data that should get somebody thinking that what am I doing with my life? And of course, when you see this kind of data, you need to dig deeper, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm not going to provide you all the information. I just want to spoil you, give you appetite to take your destiny into your hand. Don't be reacting. Don't sit down there. No, don't sit down there. Have understanding of time and run with it. So again, this is similar to that. This data is actually very interesting. Under 25, wages are going up. The people in Nigeria, why? These people are tech savvy. They understand, they can, they are operating on a different level. You see 55 and over, our people in that category, their earning potential is declining. Some of them are so complacent, they can't be bothered, they can't retrain, they have a lot of things going on for them. So this, you need to be asking questions. You see 25 to 39, they are doing well in the middle. Where do I belong? How does this impact me? And read more. Now, new technology and nature of work. The chart on the left tells us very important. This is Canada data. You could see that, and this is one of the reasons why I went to business school. Anyway, if your role is managerial, professional, and technical occupation, you could see the line up here. Their employment share by task in Canada is going up. But if you do production, craft, repair, operative occupation, routine, if your job is routine manual, your share of employment is going down. Why? Technology. Why? China. Why? India. Why? Shift in demography. So that is why. If your work is like no routine but manual, you are still faring better. You could see yourself just below here. If your work is routine and cognitive, you are still doing well. But if you look at your work and your work is routine and I love this as well. This is talking about the same story. You could see the green and blue. If you are non-routine interpersonal, that is your role involved interpersonal relationship skill, people development, management, your chance of economy is going up. And also, if you do non-routine analytical, these are people we call social high mass. Then your share of employment is going up. But if your role, if you are doing something now that is not in that line, you might be thinking. Or if you want to pivot, you might be thinking, where should I pivot to? I hope somebody is getting something here. This is also similar. And you can see this chart on the right here. It's saying the higher paying job more exposed to AI. Everybody looking at, I can now reduce the number of people with fat paychecks with technology. Global trend. Technology, you can see change in hourly range is declining because of new technologies. Now let me quickly talk about maths and social skills. For some of us that are parents here, I have a son, all he wants to do is computer and everything. And one of the things that worries me about him is that he wants to just code and code all day. Social skill, he can't be bothered. And it's worrying me because this data shows us, and this is read work data, that when you have high social and high maths, your chance of occupation intensity, I mean your career growth, your ability to stay employed is on the rising. But if you have low social skill and low maths, you are right, the yellow guy here. Now, the funny thing here on this one, on the one on the right, is that if you do a non-routine analytical work and you have only social skill, you fare better. People with social skill fare better than people that are, we call nerds. They do non-routine. They are the kind of professor, the kind of postdoc, people that data savvy, data analytics, all I do is data manipulation and all those things. Yes, good. But people with social skill will manage you. People with social, because that's what the data is saying. And I want you to actually be thinking about your career and how we raise our children. They're going to be going to colleges, universities, choosing courses. You need to, like one of the things I told my wife, and that all my children, irrespective of the course they do in the university, they must have a major in business administration. They don't have to study and go to MBA when in their old age, age like me, because I have seen the importance of being social. I've seen the importance of me when I was a technical guy, and now that I have a lot of managerial and leadership skill, I can tell you the kind of leverages I've got at work, the kind of promotions I've got, the kind of places I sit, and the kind of discussion I get involved in. Because I'm not just that guy that just design pipeline. I know about people management, leadership, and how to make money for the business. Business development. That is it. I will leave all this. I will just leave this in, and I will go straight to strategy for career pivoting. Now, having said all this, I want you to start thinking, or everything I've been saying. How can I bring all these things, funnel everything into career pivoting? We know what it means. And I want to tell you that my focus is not how to make pivoting happen. No, there are so many resources out there. My focus on this call is how to decide where to pivot to. So many resources. Yeah, that's my goal. Think of it this way. There is a difference between how to make a meal and how to decide what meal to make. My goal today is to walk you through how to decide which meal to make. And all the information I've been sharing, everything will come together as we go along. Now, please, as you are, we're going to go to Q&A. Yeah, I quickly want to, when I was developing this, I'm giving to books. I read books a lot. I invest so much in books. In fact, Amazon doesn't send anything to me apart from books. They know. I spend a lot of money averagely. I don't want to talk about it every month on books, and I spend time to read them. Because it gives you leverages, some leverages that you can't get otherwise. You stand on giant shoulders. There's this book, I have it in my library here, written by these two authors. It's Getting It Right. It's a business leadership book, very good. And they propose, the author proposed values-based problem-solving habits. And they call the habit of the mind, habit of action. And to create the strategy for you to pivot, I'm going to build the strategies around these two habit of mind, habit of mind and habit of action. And what do we mean by habit of mind? It's talking about a disciplined routine of inquiry, of questioning, and judgment into problem and solution. You will understand what you know, how you know it, and of course, what you don't know. Then you progress to habit of actions, which lead to effective communication, collaboration, the cross of the matter, which is decision making and execution, committing oneself to fighting the good fight once the why is established. Now, that is it. The problem solved, you must, and one thing I want to tell you is that when you want to solve any problem, you must intuit that the problem can be solved, even in the absence of any obvious pathway forward. Just have that, win that battle in your mind, right? Now, that is the part I'm going to follow. Now, engaging mind, habit of mind, we are talking about analysis and creativity. How do you pivot into a new role? And how do you decide which sector, which area in all the information I've given you that you should pivot to, even within your career? You need to first of all critically identify your why. And I'm going to explain this further. You need to define your shift. Are you shifting industry? Are you making function shift? Or are you making both industry and function shifts? You need to decide that. The third thing you need to critically do is to identify applicable solution to your why. And by solution, I mean the career path you want to pivot to. And again, like I said, so many resources out there. So, and I want to encourage you that when you are when you identify the solution, the problem people do is that, oh, I want to go into business analysis, for example. They just say business analysis. No, make sure that when you've done your work, you have at least 3 potential subject areas you can pivot to, and you will see why when we go now. Now, this guy, Simon Sinek, said, why is all about your purpose and why people should care. So you identify your why. How do we do that? There is a concept in reliability engineering that we call 5 why root cause analysis technique. I know this might come a little bit overkill for this, but the reason why I brought this overkill is to let you know how important understanding your why. People just, I want to change job. Why? And you need to ask 5 whys. So that, because if you are not convinced enough, when the going gets tough, you are going to fizzle out. For example, let's example of how to use this 5 why root cause analysis. By the way, you can use it in all areas of your life. Let's assume the problem ran through a red light. You ran through a red light. Why? The first question, because you were late for work. Why were you late for work? Because you woke up late. Why did you wake up late? Because your alarm did not work. Why did it not work? Because the battery is bad. And why did that happen? Because I did not remember to check the battery. Now, the reason why you ran through red lights was not because you were late for work. The reason was actually because you forgot to check the battery of your alarm. One of the things you need to do to pivot is to understand your why. Am I doing this thing for family? Am I doing this thing for my health? Am I doing this thing because of global trends? What are the global trends? So many things. You need to understand that. Very important. Then the second thing, you need to understand what kind of shift are you trying to do. If you are doing industry shift, I am an engineer, I work for company A, I want to go and do the same thing another company A, that is okay. Your knowledge you require is the same. It is easy to do. No much problem. That's where you want to be. You are just changing employer or changing. I'm a consultant. I might say, okay, I want to go to operation to my client side. That's fine. And second shift is function. Yeah, I do a lot of technical thing. I want to be doing people management. I want to be doing business development. That is function. Now, you require require new skills. That could be within your company, or you can be outside. That is a moderate task because you are still going to be leveraging on your base knowledge. Now, the last one, which is most difficult, is when you are shifting industry and you are shifting function. For example, all of a sudden I want to be a surgeon. That is complete. It's doable. I can go back to medical school. I know maybe in 7 years you will be coming to my practice, but it's difficult, but it's doable. I need to understand this, and you need to understand this based on your why. Why are you doing this? So it is so important for you to be clear on what you are going for, so that you can adequately prepare yourself for the effort and energy required to pull through. The third thing, which is engaging the habit engaging the habit of my creativity, okay, is to use this tool called career exploration process. And I've actually adapted this to the concept of habit of mind and habit of action. This process was developed by Dave Fano. That's his link. But I've looked at it and I've massaged it to align with what I'm saying. What he was suggesting is that when you want to pivot, you start by styles and value. You look at your styles, your value, and I call it your why. Why are you doing this? Is it because of your value, your style, or your family requirement, or you change in your health, and something like that? Then you go to skill and interest. What skill do I have? Recognize what you can do and what you want to do. There is a difference between the two. Then, doing the habit of mind, career option and fit. Don't forget I said under the habit of mind, you do questioning and you find solutions. Then you start thinking, what are the options available for me that will fit my why and my skill and interest, or the kind of effort I need to put in. Explore and brainstorm, talk to people, read books, engage people already in the area, which is what I did. When I was going to asset management, I identified leaders within and outside my company to mentor me. And that's it. Dive deeper to learn about function and talk to people. Talk to people. Talk to, I can't overemphasize that. Then once you are done with that, you will come up with multiple options. You have, I want to go career A, career B, career C, E or D or E. Then you go to that is habit of action, where you start now narrow down all these career and make decision and address gap if need be. Then you might be able to say, okay, these are the number of career that fits my why. And I say, to do this, you need to engage right tools and decision supporting system. And I'm going to be sharing them with you right now. And that's why I say this is all about strategy that you can use to pivot. A lot of things you can do the habit of the mind, but habit of action, you need to use tools. And I'll be sharing some of these tools with you right now. Now, and I quickly want to prep you. I study, my focus on MBA was strategy. So most of the tools I'm going to be sharing with you were strategy tools that business use to create competitive, sustainable competitive advantage, because the whole essence of strategy is to make competitive advantage. Having studied this, study people management, leadership, business development, I realized that this can actually be used for personal career decision making, because the whole essence of changing one job to the other is to gain a competitive advantage, and you want it to be sustainable. There is a tool we call PEX analysis. What this does is actually to look at, let's say I've identified career A. You want to look at political factor, like what I was talking about. I want to go into IT. What are the political factors that affect IT as a career? Oh, China, India, you need to think about that. They are most of the job, IT job, everything is going to them. So if I say in Canada I'm developing that, is it sustainable? Look at economic factor that can affect your career. Is it well paid? Is it part of the low range? Is it the one that can be replaced, automated? Look at the technological factor. Look at social factor. And I've shared some of those social factors with you, and use these to see how lucrative your career choices are. Don't forget, you have up to 3 career choices. By the way, you can use OpenAI. What I'm saying is right on your computer, on your phone. Another thing you want to do is to do SWOT analysis on yourself. SWOT analysis on yourself. And identify your strength, your weakness, your threat, and opportunity. Also, do that for the career area you are looking for, and do matchmaking. See for example, if you identify a strength and you see a career that is a great opportunity, then there is an alignment. If you have a weakness and you want to go to a place where that is a very key thing, you start thinking, do I go away or do I deal with my weakness? Complete that. These are tools. The another one that is so important is what we call Portal 5 Forces is a very viable tool that is being used by business owners to make strategic decisions. Now, and I'm going to demonstrate how to use Portal 5 Forces in the next slide. And let's go there. So what it does, for example, is this. It scans the environment of any business, and it will tell you whether it's a business to enter or not to enter. The same can be used for career. And pardon me if I have business analysts here. I just use business analysts, not because I know much. This is a hypothetical situation. Now let's do Portal 5 Forces on let's assume I want to move to business analyst career paths. Now the first question you're going to ask yourself, what is the threat of entry like? The threat of entry to business analyst career path is high, because anybody can wake up in one day. You don't need any formal degree to become a business analyst. You can't wake up in a day and become a surgeon. You can't wake up in a day and become a pharmacist. I'm not saying areas where anybody can wake up in a day and go into it is bad, but you need to understand your strategy and understand timing, and look at all way to upwardly increase your skill set in that area. Then you look, threat to entry of business analyst is high. Anybody can wake up. And the truth of the matter, 2 years ago, these guys, when we're making a lot of money now, they are offering business analysts $60,000 per annum. Because don't forget, it's all about demand and supply. For some of us that understand that in economics, when supply goes up, you know what happened to demand, and vice versa. So the next question you're going to ask yourself, the power of supplier. In this case, the supplier are firm providing training for BA. They are everywhere. What is their impact? People can be self-trained, because you don't need to invest. You can be self-trained, pay some training if you are, and become a business analyst. I might be wrong, and there are so many multiple providers. You don't need to travel. Unlike maybe, for example, when I was going to do my MBA, I did multiple interviews with U of A. You don't need to. You can just wake up today and say, I want to do that. You look at that, the power of supplier is medium. Power of buyer, these are the employer that will hire you. Because of demand and supply, because anybody can become a BA. And now link this up to China, India, and immigration in Canada. A lot of, you see, in China and India, they leverage on low income, low wage earner, all the high earners, and they migrate to Canada. You all know that China and India take the largest number of people coming to Canada. These high earners there, because of the dynamics in the economy, they will move to European developed world, because they are used to low, because of their minimum wage is lower. When they come here, maybe they are offering you, I know, $120 an hour as a BA. This guy will come and take the same job, $40 an hour. So buyers, the employer, they have power. So because with current oversupply of BA and other similar takers, employer have multiple options to choose from. I remember safety. My wife is into safety. He got to safety sometime in Canada. Companies started training their manager to be safety officers, so that they don't need to hire safety officers. And that's it. Because buyer can be smart. For BA, the buyer power is higher now, because they can decide. Now, the threat of substitute. Are there other roles that people that can flood into business analyst role within the company? Yes. Data analyst, product owner, program manager, scrum master, system analyst, analytics manager. Meaning, if I have a scrum manager on my payroll, I can just tell him to be doing the BA role. So there is high threat of substitute. Is high. Rivalry among competitors, that is among all of you. Canada Job Bank shows that BA prospect over the last 3 years is moderate. Check the data. On the average, but the supply is rising. Everybody, business rally, and Canada, the data is showing that the prospect is going down. Now, what does that tell us? Tell us that rivalry is higher because of oversupply. Then, when you look at all this in a career, you do this for every career you have chosen. And for example, on this one now, based on the data here, this result suggests that BA is not an attractive career area. Now, this is what this data is saying. I'm not, it's just hypothetical. Because of high threat of entry, buyer power, and also threat of substitute of rivalry. So, yes, you see that now. Now, these are some of other tools. By the time you have your options, let's assume you have option A to E of different career areas you can move to. Do what we call priority map. And you do level of difficulty of achieving them and time to implement. The bubbles talk about how, don't forget your why. The size of the bubble is impact on your objective or your why. And arrange them about hard, easy, near time, and next time on the S-axis. And see, this will show you which career on this page now. You see that I can quickly go to option B quickly because it's not that hard. And if you are not the type that is so strong, you can just say, you know what, I will go to option D because I can get it done now and it's easy. This is your decision. Nobody is making this decision for you. This is a call you need to make yourself and say, there another thing you can, these are examples of priority map. You look at all these career options, you plot them, importance against urgency, impact against effort. And then it will advise you those ones that you can proceed with, the one you can consider, the one you can avoid, or the one you can investigate further. The same thing with this. This read about it, how you can leverage priority map to make choices about your career. Like I said, I'm teaching strategy on how to pivot. This will tell you that. And then familiarity matrix. This is very, very critical for when you are pivoting, because what you will do is that you will plot your career in question, each one of them against your skill and level of effort that you need to attain it. Then on S-axis and now we have what we call base. We have new familiar and new unfamiliar. The same thing on the career choice. You pair it. Your base is what your skill you already have, and the industry you are already high. That is, you have high level of success, high chance of success if you stay within your base, your industry, because you just need to do a little more. If you come to new familiar, if you go to, okay, let's say I am a project manager, I want to be a scrum manager. It is, you are moving from your base of project management to scrum master, which is a new familiar, because you are not just going from traditional project management to agile. Now, with your base, you have high chance of success. Now, let me go to here. If you go to new familiar, I am a nurse, for example. I want to become scrum master. You are completely going to a new unfamiliar. And because your base is now moving to new unfamiliar, you have low chance of success. You do this for all the career to choose which one is best for you. I'm using tools. I'm not using emotion. I'm using data. I'm using tools to say, yes, based on this, I'm likely going to succeed if I pivot right here, pivot right here, or pivot where you have I, right? Or you stay in the middle, depending on your willpower and your life. Does that make sense? Now, I'm going to leave you with this. This guy, this, by the way, is a very wonderful book, Principle by Ray Dalio. You know, he summarized everything I'm talking about. He created a 5-step process to get whatever you want out of life. He said, have a clear goals, identify and don't tolerate the problem that stand in the way of achieving those goals, accurate diagnosis of problem to get to the root causes, which we have discussed, design plans, and that is talking about systems that will get you around them. Do what is necessary to push these plans or system through to get your results. And lastly, This book is small. I have a copy of it here. Please buy it. I think it's $15. It will change your life. Written by Dr. Price Pritchett. It's called U Square. Now, so many things, but three of the things I want to share with you is number one, to do all these things I'm talking about, change your personal rule for success. If you want to accelerate your rate of achievement in everything I've said, you must search out and vigorously employ new behaviors. Your mindset should change. Secondly, quit trying harder. You've been doing the same thing over and over. They say insanity is when you're doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result. Because more of the same will give you more of the same. You got to shift gears. You have to follow new patterns of thought and action. Now, this is very, very important, and I want to tell you, seek failure. In all this we are saying, give room for failure. Give room for setback. Prepare for it. Because failure is a resource. It helps you to find the edge of your capacity. Unless you allow yourself to make mistakes, to fail, you will never have the opportunity to test the limit of what you truly are capable of accomplishing. So don't be too hard on yourself when you fail. When I was doing my PhD, one of my professors would say a bad result is a good result because you have learned a way not to do the experiment. That is it. And these are all the things I want to. And good thing is that this is going to be on our YouTube channel, that you can actually go and listen to all these things again. And at this point, I will get to the end of my presentation. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, that's the end of the presentation, and we're going to be having Q&A. You can be typing your questions, but while you are doing that, can I plead with you to go to all to join? I'm looking for people to walk this journey with me. If you are interested in volunteering or being part of the working committee for this network, please send email to I'm putting it at gmail.com. Send email to here to register your interest, and we'll reach out to you to work with us to be part of what this network. Please send email, and again, can you please join us and subscribe to us on LinkedIn, subscribe to our group on YouTube, our YouTube channel, our Facebook channels, our Instagram, so that you will see some of the past work and the work, our new teachings will be coming on this. Please do well to subscribe to our channel, press notification buttons, share with your people. Greater things will be coming here. I'm only creating a platform. We are going to be having world-renowned speakers on this platform. We are going to be having world-renowned speakers that you might not in other way get on this platform. Just be part of what you are doing here. And thank you, and God bless you. Question and answer, please. Thank you for... Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thanks for your applause. I appreciate that. Please don't forget to send that email, info.manit. It's on the info.manint@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, subscribe. There will be more to come. Thank you. Question and answer, please. If you type it, you won't be able to speak, but if you type your question, I will take it. I can see it. Okay. Yeah, thank you, my Dr. Professor Tolu. Thank you. I appreciate for joining us from Calgary. Thank you. Yeah, question, please. Okay. That's my friend Femi from the UK. Can you share this on chat? Femi, what do you want me to share? Okay. The link. Yes, I can share that on the chat. Yes, I will do that right now. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, so I'm appealing. Let me put this one here. Oh, my professor is here. Victor Olobani, thank you. You will understand most of this This thing I was sharing because we were in a course together where this professor gave us all this. Okay, the email is already here as well. I've done that on the chat. Thank you. My colleague is here, Lawrence. Okay, yes, please. Wash hands. Yeah, I didn't get that. Can you guys see hear me? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, and I put the link here for where you can join us, all our social media handles. Yeah, I'm seeing hands there, but if you have hands, so okay, so I'm appealing to your support. Yeah, God bless you. Well done. Thank you, Bola. Any question? Josh, can we see any question? I know I rushed through a lot, but you can go back to this Facebook channel and actually listen to this again, and you can engage me. Most of people here, they know I'm really appreciable. You can reach us, and we can. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I just want you to put all this thing together as you decide for yourself in the year to come. Is information is power. I believe strongly that the quality of your life depends on the quality of the information you have, or the quality of information you are ready to apply to your life. And don't forget the Goldilocks rule. When things are getting tough, remember the Goldilocks rule. Yeah. So it's interesting, the global trend, even through Africa as youthful population. We don't see Africa. Do you? Okay, let me read that. Do you know in your research where the opportunities? Okay, yeah. And there's a question here. It is interesting, the global trend, and even through Africa as youthful population. Yes, we don't see Africa. Do you know exactly? Africa is a fertile ground. I hope a continent can prove. We have the population, but we just need to get our governance right. Of course, somebody can take up this and research into that area, whether you are in Africa. The issue is that the point is that everywhere you are, there are opportunities. The worst thing the thing that's worse than being blind is to have sight and not have vision. And vision is information. Dig. There are opportunity in Africa as well, and Africa has actually been a good contributor to world economy by importing our capital, our human capital, which is really awesome. Okay, yes, please. Is it interesting? Loss. You have question on YouTube chat. Can that be put here? Joshua, there is a question on YouTube chat. But it should come here. If there's any question on YouTube chat, you should come here straight. Brokule, can you type the chat here for me? Okay, so I am appealing manage. Great. Yeah, Dr. Tolu was saying that well said, technical competence is not enough. Social skill will take you further. Absolutely. I can't overemphasize that. And that is one of the things I have taken advantage of. So while we are waiting for, is there a reason you did not include? Yes, my colleague, my friend was saying that, is there a reason why I did not include environment and legal environment in the pest analysis? Yeah, you can take your pest analysis to pest analysis. Depending on your area, you can include, if you come back here, you can include E, which is environment, and L, which is legal. Depending on your career, you can. But I was just looking at something that's more common to career. Thank you, Bola. Farmer Kinde asks about mentorship. Yes, mentorship. One of the things we're going to be doing on this platform, as God will be helping us to grow, is to have a network of mentors, to peer people, to mentors and help them. That's why we need help. I need ideas. I need people to volunteer and join us as we drive this God-given mandate forward. Yes. Thank you. Oh, they said there's a question not answered. Yemi, which question is that? Okay, it's interesting. Thank you. You know, and again, I want to talk about quickly because I have 5 minutes while waiting for question. It's about talking about system. This is very, very important. About 4 years ago, I decided to change my lifestyle. I just told my family that I want to be a vegetarian, and everybody thought I was joking. And I remember my daughter said, "Daddy, I bet it you cannot do it. You love meat so much." And there's so many things going on in my head that I needed to build a culture of discipline. And also, I have otherwise, I research, I know, you know, being a baby guy, sleep late, study, and all the like. You wake up in the morning, you're having this small headache here and there, your money is sluggish. I did a lot of research, and I know that vegetarians don't have things like that. So I made a New Year resolution. I said, you know, I'm going to be a vegetarian. It was difficult, trust me. First 3 months, I was only eating vegetable. My wife was freaking out. I was disappearing. 6 months, I was doing only thing. My wife had to say no. After a lot of consultation, I moved to pescatarian, which means I can do some seafood once in a while. Now, what the author have learned, this is we're talking about goals and system. What that thing did for me was to create a culture, a system of discipline, of following three tools, a system where every other goals can be achieved. Now, when I wake up in the morning, it doesn't matter when I sleep. I wake up with a lot of energy. I'm not bloated. I'm a busy engineer. I'm a leader in my company. I have business development responsibility. I have church work to do. I have family and things to do. So by creating that environment, the system of discipline, 2 years ago, I started my MBA as a part-time. I have up to 7 years to finish my MBA. But I decided I was going to do everything in 2 years, like run it like a full time. But because I've created 2 years prior to that a system where I can follow through a system, a goal, I can compress things together. And I've created a system where I don't my eating lifestyle was okay with my level of engagement. In 2 years, I completed my MBA. The goal of completing MBA was possible because of the system of discipline, of time management, of saying no to something. You see, I love me so much, but in 4 years, I said no to it. Say no to Premier League, say no to all things that system really helped me, and I was able to accomplish my goal. Not only that, other career goal because of the system I have developed. So remember goal and system and everything. I encourage you to go back and watch all these things. And I want to thank you all. Yeah, you touched on social skill and never excited your personal experience. Will you mind sharing some suggestions on how people can develop their people skill and workplace, please? Because of our time, there's a question here. Now, one of the way to develop your people skill is studying, reading. Take the course. There's a lot of course, people management, leadership, negotiation, team forming, and team making. There's so much resources out there. Also, leverage mentorship. If you don't have a mentor, if you are here and you don't have a mentor in any area you want to go to, success is far away from you. And give yourself to reading. If I tell you, if you are here and you don't read a good book, at least one in a quarter, that is just minimum. Man, success is not in your dictionary. You need to study to show yourself approved, right? This is a way you can actually develop that personal, and you can develop read, study, identify mentors. There's so many podcasts, many information out there. Dude, there's so many books. All these season movies, fine, but find time, there's a lot of documentaries, spend time to see scenarios that can develop your skill. Thank you, Dr. Tolu. I appreciate that. Yeah, I hope that really did justice to that. Yeah, thank you. Our goal is to finish 1 hour 30 minutes. I want to appreciate every one of you for coming. I don't know the number of people on this. Josh, do we know the number of people here? What? Do you? And I've added Josh here so that you can see the guy behind the scene.
Yeah.
Once you are live.
So we are 101 across all platforms. So
101. That's okay. That's awesome. Thank you, everyone. And please share this to your connections and let people see. Oh, thank you. If you want to volunteer, just send an email. Send an email to us. Thank you. Thank you for having a good day. I love you all. And I thank you. And I say, wish you prosperous new year and a successful year ahead in Jesus' name. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for making your joining me on this platform. Thank you so much. We're going to end the stream now. Thank you. Bye.